Here's what's coming into view on Elevating Denver for May 2026. Let's grow with the Office of the City Forester.
We provide public services all across the community.
Power up with Mile High Comics.
An oasis of kindness in a world that is less than kind.
And celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo!
These stories and more are just ahead on Elevating Denver.
The role of the Office of the City Forester is diverse in the sense that we provide public services all across the community.
The Office of the City Forester is responsible for the overall health of trees, outlining standards for the maintenance, planting, and removal of trees within parks, parkways, and the public right-of-way.
And that's everything from tree planting, keeping the trees watered, plant health care, pruning the trees, and then eventually removal and kind of start the process over.
We recognize the value of trees. We want to make sure that residents understand those values and that they're advocates for our urban forests, and we need their assistance. In the city of Denver, we rely on our adjacent property owners for maintenance of our public right-of-way trees. Oftentimes there's a misunderstanding that people expect us to be responsible for all of those. We don't have the capacity to manage all those trees, so in the event that you are a resident within city limits and you have a tree located between oftentimes the sidewalk and the street, that's what's considered a public right-of-way tree. And part of that is the maintenance of the tree that we lean on those residents for. But in the event that you're a new homeowner and you're looking for information about what those responsibilities are, all of that information can be found on our website.
It's important to know what kind of trees you have on your property so that you can maintain them appropriately. Oftentimes with certain trees, there are certain insects and pathogens that affect them, and if you can identify those things, then you can come to mitigate the problem sooner rather than later.
So in the public sector, we have two teams. Basically, we have our operations team, which handles all of our boots on the ground projects, so any of our public parks.
Forestry operations managers oversee any tree that we physically maintain. So that's all of our parkway trees, any city-owned property, police stations, fire stations, libraries, things of that nature as well.
And then we also have our regulations team, which includes our inspectors. They oversee all of our public right-of-way trees.
As a forestry inspector, it really just at a baseline is driving the streets or walking the streets and inspecting any trees within the public right-of-way as my main responsibility, and identifying hazards. And that includes looking at dead trees, things with large dead branches, or obstructions to the right-of-way.
Physically, our operations team hands-on touches close to 100,000 trees, and then we have 200,000 in our public right-of-way that our inspections team oversees. So close to 300,000 trees that our team is responsible for. In addition to, there's 2.2 million trees across Denver that we are involved with and overseeing as well.
Really the way to grow our canopy is to preserve our existing trees. We can plant all the young trees all day long, and that definitely helps, but these older trees, we want to preserve those as best we can. Denver is very unique than other cities, say like on the East Coast where they actually had a forest, removed that forest and then built their city. Well, we started on a high plains desert and we've planted every tree you see around here. So we have vested interest in preserving those trees and rely on the Denver residents to help with that.
A lot of the greatest rewards come from meeting the public and interacting with property owners in particular, answering questions to provide the knowledge and information about the trees within the public right-of-way and sometimes even on private property. Most of those interactions end up being extremely positive and educational for people, and it seems beneficial, especially for us, so that more people are aware of what we do. Oftentimes people don't know we have the Office of the City Forester and the resources at hand.
We serve the public, we serve the private, we serve our commercial community members, and we're happy to answer questions and provide assistance in areas of expertise for those areas.
So at this facility, this is where our forestry operations teams work out of. We have three different pruning crews that go out and do their pruning throughout the city. We have our nursery group that works out of here, and you'll see we have some trees out in the yard. Those are trees that we don't grow them, we buy them from wholesalers, and those are scheduled to be planted out in the parks this spring.
We also have some fantastic programs that we provide our residents. If there's room within the public right-of-way, you can submit an application through our Be a Smart Ash program for a free tree. But basically, we provide that as a fantastic resource. It's about a $1,500 value for free trees. When it comes to planting trees, you have to submit a request. We have a permit process through our website that you apply. If you're looking to remove a tree, the same thing, we have a permit process that on our website you can apply. Trees are important, trees have value, and they're also part of our infrastructure. So we encourage them to check out our websites, we encourage them to speak up and be advocates for our trees, and also to reach out as public servants. We're here to serve. You can check out our website online to find a list of licensed tree contractors, local resources. We have plant health care, pest educational. We've got resources for free mulch. We've got resources for additional information and contacts. All of that is available through our websites, as well as our inventory system. So we have a ton of responsibilities. We've got a fantastic staff, certified arborists that are here to provide those resources.
This is Cinco de Mayo. It's an awesome opportunity to come out. We have thousands of people here, thousands of families.
We gotta build community, especially in times of what we're going through right now. It's important for people to come together.
This is a big community event, and being here with the community is just as important as those match days.
Why is it important? Because I'm Mexican, and I'm proud being Mexican. But the main important thing is we're humans just like everybody else.
It's important for us so they know what's going on, so we can pass on our culture to the next generation. Every year since 97, 98, we got lowrider bicycles and cars in the car show today. Well, for us, I mean, we're a lowrider family. That marks the start of the lowrider season every year. Happy Cinco de Mayo!
We are the owners of Las Empanadas. We have multiple restaurants in Denver. We support this event since day one. This is the 6th year in a row. So to be in contact with the community, it's beautiful to be here. This is a very unique event. It's very family friendly. So I love to see those kids smiling, going everywhere with the concerts, the dancing, all the playground. We have parents as well. So it's beautiful. I mean, this is life. It is what it is. In 48 hours, you have all what we work for, right?
Downtown Denver, seeing all the vendors, the food, here to support. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
I work with the Denver Fire Department in their Community Risk Reduction Program. And that program is really made to help the community, help them learn about fire safety and use those educational lessons to take home to their parents. Each kid that goes through here is leaving with something. As a fire department, we want to be proactive. We want to make sure that we deliver this information to our kids before they run into that emergency. So they'll be better equipped to deal with those emergencies when they see them.
Being part of the Hispanic community and the community in general in Denver is awesome to be a part of. We're a very diverse group of people at the Denver Labor Office, so we love to come out and just share our information with as many people as we can. So we want anybody who's working within the city to know their rights and understand what the minimum wage is.
I did have an opportunity to walk around for about 15-20 minutes and just seeing the laughter, the fun, everybody enjoying family and being here was good to see.
I think it's just the culture aspect of getting out there and seeing a variety of people from different backgrounds and sharing the love and just the culture and what it means to be Hispanic and just part of Denver.
We believe that if somebody wants to have a dog or a cat or some other pets in their life, it's not something that they should have to take a loan out to afford. With our program, the biggest thing that we're seeing is there are a lot of pet owners who want to do right by their animal and they want to provide them with veterinary care, but For a variety of reasons, they might not be able to do that. So the need that I've seen is for vaccines, physical exams, spay, neuter, urgent care. These are things that unfortunately have become hard to schedule and even harder to afford. Just a basic physical exam and vaccines can run somebody a few $100s. And given the times, a lot of people might not have that sort of disposable income. Community clinic is something that we started this past year. This is a monthly free vaccine clinic that we have here at Denver Animal Shelter, and it's specifically for folks that cannot afford to get this done elsewhere. We do have a low-cost clinic that happens on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's a first-come, first-served clinic with super affordable vaccines and microchipping available to the public. This clinic, the community clinic, is often something that's going to be referral-based, and people have a little bit more time to come in, speak with our volunteer veterinarians about some other concerns that they might have about their animal, and most importantly, schedule the appointment at a time that's convenient for them. As a Denver City employee, I'm most proud of the impact that I've made on pets here and their owners, and the impact that they've made on me. The services that we've been able to provide to pet owners here have given years of the life back to an owner and allowed them to grow older than they might have otherwise and spend more time together. A lot of what I do here involves working actually with owned animals and helping provide owners with resources that reduce the chances that they're going to relinquish those animals in the first place. And it's one of those things where it sounds like it would work, and it does. You give somebody free vaccines when they couldn't otherwise afford them. You give them some support with spay and neuter, or maybe a dental for their animal. These are things that can change somebody's ability to keep their pet. And I'm really proud to get to do that work. By providing people with more affordable resources, we can just take that even further and really let people know that this is not some privileged thing for you to do, but an opportunity for you to connect with an animal that needs you. And for a lot of people, you might need them too. With the resources that we provide, a lot of it is focused on public veterinary care. These are things that we provide to folks that need that extra support. So we're not just giving it out to everybody, and we do have an informal interview process to make sure that we are connecting with the right clients. And often these are clients who, if we don't provide this for them, might not have a lot of other resources to get it done. Another organization that we work really closely with, Host, they have been an amazing partner when it comes to connecting us with pet owners, particularly owners that are living at the All and Mile High sites here in Denver. There are a lot of shelters that provide support for humans, but tell them that they can't bring their animal here. And that leads to an insanely difficult decision where you've got a person who has their dog that they've had for 5 years, and they are being asked to decide between sheltering themselves or giving up their pet. That's something that we never want somebody to be put through. It's also expensive for us to be able to house an animal here, to feed it, to take care of it. So if we can provide an owner with a vaccine that allows them to now stay at a shelter with their pet, that is actually saving us a lot of time, space, and money. So it's saving the city and our taxpayers a lot of time, space, and money as well. That being said, it can be a scary experience for a lot of animals to come to the shelter, especially an older animal or a cat that's maybe never been outside of the protection of their person. So if we can prevent that break of their relationship, keep them together, we are ultimately saving a lot of trauma for both parties there. I think it can be hard sometimes for someone to care about so many other living things. And I think that's a universal experience. It can be especially hard when some of those things are as delicate and vulnerable as some of the animals that we do work with here. But I come here and every day I give it my best effort to give those owners the resources to do best by the animals that they care for. And more often than not, we get some really beautiful results. So that's something that I'm really proud of.
The best person to care for a tree is the one who's living right next to it. The best thing that you can do to get started taking care of your trees is really to learn.
So we're here at Park Hill, Denver's newest park. Let's take a walk and look at some trees. You want to do a full walk around the tree. You want to kind of look at it from every angle. And then you start slowly working your way in and working your way down on the tree. One of the major things you want to look out for is a fruiting body, a mushroom growing on the tree or around the base of the tree. That basically indicates there's some decay going on with that tree.
Park people and the Office of the City Forester work together on planting and caring for our city's forest. The Office of the City Forester sets the standard. They have the strategic plan, they have the goals, they have the science, they have the inventory, and they're able to work on our public lands. And so where they leave off, we overlap a little bit and then we pick it up from there.
We're here at Greenwood Elementary checking up on some young trees that we planted about 1.5 years ago. First and foremost, we want to make sure that that tree gets enough water. You can kind of tell when something, or a tree in particular, isn't getting enough water because we start to see stress actually in the canopy. And that can look like undersized leaves, that can look like dieback from the tip inward. And of course, wilting. Wilting's kind of the first thing that most people see. Another thing that I would recommend for newly trying to establish a new tree is to remove turf, remove weeds. When you're trying to get a new tree to establish, you want to make sure that it has as much access to water as possible. And weeds and grass tend to be competition. Once you have your young tree in the ground, you want to make sure that you properly mulch it. Mulch is a great additive to your young tree. It helps keep moisture in the soil. It also breaks down and helps feed your soil, which ultimately feeds your tree. It keeps the ground insulated so the roots aren't experiencing wide temperature swings. We think donut, not volcano. Keep about 3 to 4 inches away from the trunk and then about a 3 to 5 foot ring around the tree.
A healthy and robust tree canopy is absolutely critical to a healthy and robust population. And with a healthy forest, we can lower temperatures by up to 15 degrees on a hot day. And we can slow the flow of water through our environment.
Maintaining tree health throughout the city, it's a very important goal for us as a community. It's going to take everyone that lives in this area to come together and find these issues and get them dealt with. Some of the most common issues we get from residents in Denver is their tree healthy? Is it diseased? Is it dying? Does it fit within the city's code? So we address those questions usually through the 311 inbox. If it does require a visit, we'll go out and inspect the tree for that resident and kind of help them, guide them towards the steps to correcting the issue. So if this was your tree on a public right-of-way, the city would come in, they're gonna ask you to cut out all of this deadwood that's 2 inches or greater. They're gonna have you raise these limbs to about 13.5 feet over the street and 8 feet over the sidewalk. Denver forestry is pretty small. We don't have the capacity to get to every tree. So that's why we rely on communities and partnership programs with the park people. They help fill in some gaps for us, and then the other gaps, we hope the residents step in and help us fill those.
Denver has well over 1 million trees, and they're putting trees in every year. It really is kind of like an all hands on deck situation to make sure that every tree that we have here in the city does survive, does do well.
Getting involved with the park people is a really easy thing to do. We have lots of ways to plug into urban forestry here in Denver. One thing, if you're looking for a tree for your yard, you can apply for one through Denver Digs Trees. There's a form available on our website year-round to express interest. You can also get out and volunteer with us. We have a ton of different volunteer opportunities that range from getting the word out about trees to helping to plant them. You can sign up for a workshop. We have our community forester workshops. And of course, getting involved as a donor is one of the easiest ways to get involved and one of the most impactful for us as well.
Our ultimate goal with Denver Forestry is to grow the canopy. We want to work with our partnership programs and with the residents to do this. So if you have a question for Denver Forestry, you can send us an email or use the 311 system, and we'll get back to you.
There is no place like this store anywhere else in the world. I want to make this a place that the rest of the world sees Denver, and the first thing they think of is Mile High Comics. This world that we're living in right now has become so unpleasant. I want Mile High Comics to be a place where people can come and feel safe and accepted, and where they can get away from the world. But the bottom line is that this is a refuge, an oasis of kindness in a world that is less than kind. Mile High Comics began as a comic book store. We bought this building with the intention of it being the home of our online operation, but Google decided to list this as our #1 retail store in the nation. Whether we liked it or not, we started having hundreds of people pounding on the door, and then made this into the largest comic store in the world, with a few toys for sale. And then we suddenly discovered that there was an unfilled niche, which was the recycling, repurposing of nostalgia toys and popular culture items, and that is now our primary business. People internationally come here for the comic books, but our people from this region are really attracted by our sort of crazy carnival atmosphere of having just every kind of toy you can imagine. I started when I was in junior high school. This one guy, actually two of them, connived to steal my Silver Surfer #1. Long story short, 9 months later, I saw my Silver Surfer 1 at this guy's apartment, and he said, "I'll give you $5 to let me keep it." $5 in those days, especially as poor as I was immense money. And this light bulb went off, and it was like, oh my God, I can actually sell these. I can make money. Holy smokes. I lived in a '63 Chevy Impala traveling around the country, and I made $800 in 4 months. And that's what I used to open up the first Mile High Comics retail store. I actually opened up where they stored the coal in an old 1880s building. One bare light bulb, but I made it work. Foolishly, I opened a second store 6 months later. I had 3 stores when I was 21. And then about 2 miles from here, I discovered a collection that was the most valuable collection of old comics ever discovered. That was a gentleman by the name of Edgar Church, who lived here in Denver. When I ended up purchasing his collection, it was the largest and most complete collection of pre-1955 comics ever discovered. By 1978, what you see as Mile High Comics it was pretty much in place. What we care about is having everything that's been done over the last 60 years that was really cool and really fun and just blew your mind. I mean, over around the corner over there, I have, ready for it, 300,000 books. You know, if somebody wants one of the classics, the odds are real good that I'll have it here. And That's my goal all the time. Have the best of the best, the good stuff, the stuff that really moves you. There's a lot of people who say, you know, this store, Mile High Comics, the mega store, is a part of our lives. And it's integral to our lives. It's our happy place, our place to get away from the world. Believe me, it's not me. I have a team of 18 people that work with me, and 8 of them have been here for 30 years or more with the company. They've provided the heart and the soul and the passion and made it all happen. You know, that's the thing, is it's open to everyone, and we don't charge admission, and we don't care if you spend any money here or not. Integrity, your integrity is your number one asset, because doors will open for you. If people believe in you, if people trust you, then doors will open. I'm part of an organization called the International Court System, and it's drag queens, and I am a drag queen. I've performed all through the city here, and I've performed in New York and San Francisco and San Diego and pretty much everywhere. I'm getting a little long a tooth now, and I had an accident 2 years ago that shattered part of my spine, so no more death drops for this girl. I'm still very active in that community, and we wanted to be sure that all of the gender non-binary people that lived here in Colorado had a place where they felt safe, and where they felt like they were not only tolerated, but accepted and nurtured. And for a while there, we were doing all ages drag shows here. And unfortunately, during the COVID transition, that went away. I personally stood down large contingents in jack boots and leather jackets and helmets right out there, right outside the door here, who were trying to shut us down, and were posting online that our store needed to be burned down. And I will guarantee you, to this day, we have people that see our rainbow steps in the front and refuse to come in. And I don't care, because what matters to me is to being true to not only my principles, but also to the people who need me, the people who need our support and deserve our support. Here at Mile High Comics, they have a home. I don't do this for the monies. I do this because I love working with the people that I work with, and I love the customers that come in here. To see that 9-year-old boy that I once was, smiling and happy, and here with his dad or his brother or his uncle, and they're going around and they're sharing an experience, a bonding that otherwise might never exist.
Stay elevated by subscribing to the city's YouTube page for these stories and more. And stay tuned to our social media channels for more content. Don't miss our new episodes of Elevating Denver, premiering each month. Thanks for watching, Denver.